Okay, so maybe like a week ago, someone had posted that the Wet n Wild makeup brushes were really good brushes that'll work with ColourPop eyeshadows. And you know how much I love ColourPop eyeshadows. I usually use my fingers or use the Kat Von D Shade and Light dual-ended brush, which is good, but it's expensive. So it's really cool that someone recommended these cheap alternatives. These two brushes right here, the face brushes, I just ordered because I want to try them, but I ordered 4 eye brushes because I was really, I'm really curious to see if they work. So I just opened the face brushes and they are so unbelievably soft. This one I really like. The blush brush is a lot thinner than I thought. I'm wondering if I'll like it more for highlighters. I don't know. This one seems a little cheap to me, but this one, I don't know which one this is. I just threw away the packet. But this one is really, really nice and very, very soft. Yeah, I just put it on my face because I'm weird. But yeah, very soft, very lightweight. I like this one. Yeah, so here are the eye brushes. I really like them. I just have, just a big fluffy brush, a blender, flat one, and a smudger. And these brushes are really, really reasonable. I think these 4 here were $1 each, and then the 2 face brushes may have been like $2 or $2.99, something like that. But more importantly, let's see how they work with the ColourPop eyeshadows, which is why I bought them to begin with. The shade I'm going to work with here is a matte shade, and it's Deux from the, the Je ne sais quoi collection. Oh my god, I am so pleasantly surprised right now. It is very difficult for a brush to pick up the ColourPop product because of its formula, and this brush just picked it up seamlessly. Oh my god, I really love this. Okay, and even though you may not be able to see it, it really did blend out the eyeshadow beautifully. It'd be easier on the lid to show off how good it blends, but it picked up the product great, it blended beautifully, so I'm pretty psyched right now. So the next shade I'm going to try is Drift, and I'm going to use the more fluffy brush, which I wouldn't typically use for a shade like this. Usually I use fluffy brushes for like blending in shadow all over the lid, but my lid shade is kind of all messed up and dried out a bit. Like, I think I had a different swatch on my hand, and then I swatched the nude shade and it turned out gray. With that being said, either way, I do want to just get an idea of the color impact, so I am going to use the big fluffy brush with Drift. And there you go. It picked up beautifully. I'm so excited right now. Okay, so there is Drift. It looks a little diffused, but that's okay. That's kind of the reason I buy a big fluffy brush like this, is just to kind of just diffuse the color all over the place. So yes, very, very happy with how this brush worked as well. Okay, now I'm going to use the flat blending brush. Oh my god, for some reason I cannot think of what it is. And with this one, I'm going to use Telepathy, which is like one of my new favorite shades that I like to just dab on the lid. So when I dab shades on the lids, I usually use my finger, or if it's just like any other shade that's not ColourPop, I always use a brush like this. Look how well it picked up the shade. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my god, and look, it packed on the color just as good as it does with my pointer finger. Let's do a comparison. Okay, so there you go. Oh my god. Okay, so to the right is Telepathy applied with the brush, and to the left is Telepathy applied with just my finger, and the color impact is pretty similar. If anything, the brush may have done even better. I'm so impressed. Okay, and next, last but not least, we are going to use the smudger brush with the shade Luckfully. Okay, and there you go. I don't know how well you could see it, but again, it picked up the product perfectly. And look at that. It applied so precise, kept its color impact. Wow. Like I said earlier, the blush brush, I wasn't so sure about because it does feel like the cheaper of all the brushes that I purchased. Did say that it might make a good highlighting brush, so let's give it a test with Churro. You have got to be freaking kidding me. I always use my hands, or my fingers rather, when I use highlighters from ColourPop. Everything. Again, the only brush that I ever used for any ColourPop products was the Kat Von D brush. Oh my god, this brush worked amazing. When the brush picked up the product, it looked like a little patchy, so I was like, okay, because that's usually what happens with the brushes. But it just applied beautifully. Again, just as good as it would if I were to use my fingers. So many of you that are ColourPop fans probably do have specific brushes that they are excited about. But the ones that I have in my collection already, none of them really have worked. So again, I may be like overly excited about this, but it's only because I haven't tried anything that worked this well before. So again, I didn't discover this. Someone put it on like a ColourPop page, just recommended that just saying that how good these brushes work. So I don't know who it is. Whoever it was, I thank you. Work incredibly. So yeah, so if you get the opportunity to, if you love ColourPop and love their eyeshadows, be sure to try, help me out, be sure to try the Wet n Wild makeup brushes. This one right here, this kind of flat top, I was just going to use, not for ColourPop products, but just for like, just a powder products on my face. Now that I think of it, I wonder how well it would work with like the ColourPop bronzers and blushes. I don't have any on hand. I just wasn't a big fan of the blushes or bronzers, only because I didn't like applying them with my fingers. So I stuck with the highlighters and the eyeshadow, but I might have to get one to try it out. Actually, wait, do I have a bronzer? Hold on one second. Yes, I do still have my ColourPop blush and my ColourPop bronzer. The blush is a little dried out. As you can see, it's like kind of cracked. I didn't seal it too well. I first used it, so I'm not going to try it with that, but I'm going to try it with the bronzer in Skinny Dip. Okay, so I don't know how well you could see it. This is an awkward position for my arm, but this brush actually did work really well. I mean, this bronzer's a little dried out. It was a little difficult to kind of grab onto the product, like even swatching on my finger, it doesn't swatch very well, but it did pretty good, so I might have to get other bronzer and blush just to kind of test out. I'm really excited about this. So again, if you get the opportunity, try the Wet n Wild makeup brushes, especially if you're a ColourPop fan. I guarantee you will not be disappointed.